if Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle early, he might struggle. We've seen before him get taken down, but I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's gonna feel, because it's not gonna be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's gonna be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, hein?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora no luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazer a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Dustin Poirier might have retired from the fight game, but he's still having his say where it matters. Having just wrapped up his emotional goodbye, Poirier had no hesitation in providing a biting opinion on the hotter-than-hot debate surrounding the proposed showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Dustin Poirier, commenting on his retirement announcement, caused a stir at the post-fight conference by coming out in support of Islam Makhachev in the proposed super fight with Jack Della Maddalena. Even while he had given credit to JDM for his potent boxing and rising tide, Poirier remained adamant that Islam's top-level grappling skills and championship experience would prevail. Coming from someone who has fought killers and knows what elite pressure looks like, his take turned heads. In Poirier's eyes, Makhachev's control and top position could systematically suffocate JDM's offense before it ever gets into rhythm.
His lifestyle outside of training camp is going to be a little more comfortable, and he'll fill into that weight class no problem. He's gonna be he could be champion there for sure.
Not everyone though, especially not Max Holloway, the victor of that very card and Poirier's last opponent. Holloway pledged his allegiance to JDM. Speaking in his characteristic bold tone, Holloway commended Jack's composure under fire, while emphasizing the pinpoint accuracy that has established him as one of the welterweights most feared. In Max's opinion, Makhachev has not encountered anyone like JDM, anyone who can push, time counters, and stay laser focused late into the bout. Holloway's opinion poured fuel on the already incandescent debate.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is, you know, he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason, so you gotta respect that. But you know, don't sleep on Jack. I think it's gonna be a tough and fun fight.
Former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski shared Holloway's point of view and provided additional layers of strategic commentary. Volkanovski pointed out that JDM's lateral movement and defensive acumen might give Islam's takedown attempts trouble. Having fought in the octagon with Makhachev himself, Volk is familiar with the ferocity of that grappling, but he also suggested that JDM's timing and fight IQ could be sufficient to penetrate that toughness. His breakdown wasn't hype, it was technical, and it provided JDM fans with more ammunition for the argument.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Bilal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, there's every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. You know, I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, you know, worrying about, you know, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like, I guarantee you if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. You know, only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
Former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman also came out in support of JDM, warning fans and observers not to underrate the Aussie's capacity to come back in decisive situations. Usman noted that Islam, dominant as he has been, hasn't been up against a fighter who punches like JDM does with his rhythm and velocity in that division. To Usman, the question is not if JDM can win, it's if Islam can withstand the kind of heat that Jack brings without getting flustered. His remarks gave credence to the growing movement supporting the underdog.
I feel like people are sleeping on JDM.
That do good, man.
And that's what I said last time. Like, we can't We can't sleep.
Hold on, come. I think the lighting's.
No, but that's okay. It just like got sexy up in here.
We can't. we can't sleep on JDM. Like when he was going up against Bilal, everyone's talking about Bilal.
I thought Bilal was gonna take him down.
Robert Whittaker lent his voice to the voices of praise for JDM, citing the Australian's killer instinct and quick evolution as a fighter. Whittaker was admiring of Jack's versatility and killer finishing skill, particularly against foes who shoot wildly or freeze up on the feet. For Whittaker, it's not merely about tools, it's about timing, execution, and belief. His endorsement also helps cement that with high-level strikers, there's an honest-to-goodness feel that JDM can make this a nightmare for Makhachev.
I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Jack, but I believe in Jack. I think he's got that X factor. He's got that hunger there. You know, he's got the ticker. And, you know, just like with Bilal, just like with Burns before, I think he can do the impossible.
Not all are choosing a side, however. Gilbert Burns stayed out of it, offering one of the most even-handed of them all. Burns said straight up that everyone is underestimating JDM, but they're also underestimating the extent to which Islam can dominate when he's at the helm. Burns figures this won't be a blowout either direction. It'll be a knife-edge fight, depending on who asserts their will first. In his own words, the encounter will surprise fans in terms of its competitiveness and moments of disorderliness from both sides.
What did you think about the Islam vacating the belt and going up and immediately getting a shot at the welterweight bout? And what do you think about that? And how different is that fight going to play out than what we saw versus Bilal?
That's going to be a great fight. Islam's working very hard. He's being vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's big. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know. I think he was a little okay. If you're going up, we gotta. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. And I like him moving up. I've proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of crack the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating Islam, you know?
On the other hand, Charles Oliveira, who's seen Islam in action himself, gave a stark warning to JDM. Oliveira pointed out that Islam's capacity to shut down the creative game and force his opponents into awkward, suffocating fights can break even the most lethal strikers. Oliveira didn't deny JDM's skill, but he highlighted that the pressure, the positional control, and the cold-blooded ruthlessness of Islam would break him down. For anyone still in denial about Islam's game, Oliveira's comments were a reality check.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te mamando, né? Aos poucos, né? Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazer a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Daniel Cormier also entered the discussion, explaining why JDM could have trouble with Makhachev. DC pointed to the wrestling matchup, observing that Islam's chain grappling and positional dominance would have Jack in uncharted territory in no time. While conceding JDM's striking skill, Cormier emphasized that Islam does not allow you to catch your breath. Once he has his arms wrapped around you, it is no longer a fight. It is a slow, measured drowning. His viewpoint cemented the opinion that stylistically, this is Islam's battle to lose.
Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle early. He might struggle. We've seen before him get taken down, but I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's going to feel, because it's not going to be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's going to be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
Contributing to the story, additional video of Islam's recent grappling sessions depicted significant improvements, most notably in smooth transitions and scramble defense. Makhachev looked sharper, quicker, and even more powerful in top position than in recent performances. These clips shared from his camp appear to be an effort to quiet critics and demonstrate that he's still growing. For fence-sitting fans, it was a reminder in pictures that Islam isn't waiting around. He's getting ready to neutralize any threat, no matter how menacing. Finally, UFC veteran and media personality Chael Sonnen echoed the controversy by postulating that the stakes for Islam could possibly be higher than viewers think. As per Sonnen, a loss by Makhachev to JDM may trigger an abrupt retirement. He cited Islam's already deep CV, potential legacy issues, and few remaining challenges in the division. If Chael's correct, this is not only a battle for supremacy, it's a potential career-defining bout with genuine exit consequences.
They're a real team, and that's just very rare in our sport. And then you have the money. And that is probably the last thing. Of all the things, that is probably the last thing that motivates Islam. So, with that in mind, it is within the realm that with a loss to Jack, that he stopped.
Regardless of whether you agree with the clinical superiority of Makhachev or the explosive threat of JDM, this one thing is certain: the world of MMA is polarized and the stakes are enormous. Stay tuned here for the most in-depth coverage, and don't forget to subscribe for additional top shelf fight analysis, interviews, and combat sports reporting that lands harder than a spinning elbow.